Hi, everyone. I hope that everyone is having a great week. We are currently in week 5 of the class, and I wanted to provide you with additional instruction to help you with the assignment due this week, which is the marketing plan, parts 1 and 2. To begin with, I just want to remind everyone to please use the template. I have provided a template, which is a Word file that all you have to do is fill in the information that you need in paragraph format. As part of the assignment instructions. So please be sure to open up that file and use that as a guide, or actually just fill it in and use it to complete the assignment, because it will take away some of the time constraints or some of the time that you would spend formatting, a paper and all the headings. So you can use that for the final project. Okay, so I hope that you enjoy that. So moving right along, we are going to discuss the assignment. So as an overview, the first thing that you want to discuss in your paper is a situation analysis, internal and environmental analysis. The internal analysis, this information can actually be made up because, again, it's your company. You develop the company, you know the mission, the values, and all of that information. So in about a half a page, share your company history, information about the product, any background research. I have people, students in the class who are developing their shoes for particular people, particular groups of people, people with foot issues or people that have health issues, and they suffer from different types of health issues. So that's the research I'm talking about. Something about your target market or the whole premise of the problem that you're going to solve with your shoe. Okay? So again, this is all you in terms of the company history and the product. This is stuff that you've developed and created. Now, the next thing is the market description. Now, this is the competitors analysis. These are the competitors in the simulation. So I only want information about your competitors in the simulation. So let me give you some heads up as to how to find that information. Please keep in mind that my screen may look a little bit different than yours, but when you are on your dashboard area, you would click on results. And under the results, you will see all the information for your competitors. So for example, their profitability, their net profit, the unit sales, how many units they've sold, the return on sales, overall customer satisfaction, the cost of goods sold, whether or not they won any contractor bids, and the return on marketing, etc. So this is what you want to look at. It's under results. Under the results tab, you'll be able to find all the information that you need to answer that question about your competition. Okay, so I want to make sure that you are able to find that easily. Oh, excuse me. So the next thing that you want to look, and that should be a half a page, and you really want to, use the template for a guide, but, share what the customer or what your competitors are doing well, and share what they're not doing so well, because these are your competitors and you really want to get to know them and understand what is going on in terms of their success. So the next thing you're going to discuss is the marketing mix, which is really essentially what this course is all about. The 4 P's of marketing: the product, the price, the distribution, and the promotion. So again, the product is the product, your new shoes product that you have created. So, we'll talk about your product, explain your product line, what you have to offer. The price, the selling price, explain how much you're selling it for, and the pricing strategy. How did you determine your price? What type of strategy are you using to sell the product? Market skimming, if you're doing market skimming, you're going to sell it high for maybe 6 to 8 months because you're introducing it, and then you're going to drop the price later. Whatever the case may be, explain that in detail and kind of share why you're doing that. Next is promotion. Explain the tools that you will use to promote your product, whether it's advertising, personal selling, public relations, sales promotions, explain that. And again, I would love to see you explain why you're using those specific promotional tools as well. And finally, place. Really hone in on where can the customers buy this product? Where are you selling it? Are you selling it, in a retail location? Like if you are selling it at JCPenney, Walmart, Target, or are you selling it at specific stores like Shoe Carnival, or, are you selling at select stores, all stores? How are the consumers getting it? Or are you selling it out of online, so they have to get it direct from you? So explain that as well. So that should be about 3/4 of a page in length. So that's pretty well detailed, and make sure you have it. I would say it's going to approximately be 2 to 3 paragraphs for each of the items in the marketing mix. The next item is a SWOT analysis. And if you're not familiar with a SWOT analysis, it's the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It's a great way to look at an organization and see what you're doing well and see your areas of improvement. So that being said, you are to provide 2 points for each component. So 2 points for the strengths, 2 points for the weaknesses, 2 points for the opportunities, and 2 points for the threats. Again, all of this information should be in paragraph form. Yes, there's some bullets in the template, but the bullets are just there to make sure that you are aware that those are points that you must address. So some examples of strengths would be that your customer satisfaction rating is 80% or higher. That would be a strength that your organization has. A weakness could be that you're losing money, that your net income is in the negative. So you want to have 2 points for both of those. In terms of the opportunities, you want to look at opportunities outside of the organization itself. So for example, if you're trying to sell shoes to women whom are, let's just say, women who are pregnant, you could do some research and find out that more women are pregnant now than women were getting pregnant 10 years ago, or women are getting pregnant later in life now than they did 10 years ago, which means that they have more disposable income to spend on a sophisticated shoe. So that's an opportunity. You also want to look at the threats. A threat could be that the trends are headed away from your type of shoe and are headed toward a high heel shoe, or that your competitors have come up with some excellent technology that you just have not owned in on yet. So you want to look at that as well. So when you're looking at the opportunities and threats, you're looking outside the organization itself, but you're looking at elements that impact the organization. Okay? So I hope that that was useful, and this should actually be 1 page in length. So I'm really looking for good, clean, clear, concise information, and support it if you can. That would be great. You can support your strengths and weaknesses from the simulation itself, the opportunities and threats from your research. Okay, so that is part 1. Now we're moving on to part 2. Part 2 may look very familiar to you, at least some of it. So part 2 is the marketing plan section dealing with objectives and issues. You are to list at least 2 objectives which are specific and measurable. This may look familiar to you because you created something similar to this a couple weeks ago. So you can actually use that assignment here. If everything worked out well and your feedback was positive, I believe it was a week 3 assignment, then you can just simply copy and paste that into this section. So what I'm looking for is 2 objectives that are specific and measurable. Measurable meaning there's some kind of numeric way to measure the success. And I gave one example would be to increase product awareness by 15% among new target audience identified within 1 year through direct mail and email advertising. This is very specific. Not only I'm increasing my product awareness by 15% among my target audience, I'm doing it within 1 year, and it's specific to direct mail and email advertising. So it should be very specific, and the number should be there for measurement purposes. Okay? So again, go back to, I believe it was a week 3 assignment, and you can find information there to assist you with those 2. The next part of section 2 is the marketing strategy. I want you to look at branding. How do you want your brand? How do you want your product to be branded? What do you want your brand to look like? And what type of strategy do you want to use? Are you branding your product to be a luxury brand? Are you branding it to be an average brand, a low cost brand? What are you branding? What do you want the consumers to really see when they look at that brand? And what type of strategy are you using? Like, what strategy do you think will give the consumers, will communicate to the consumers that you are a luxury brand or that you are a mid-range brand? And next, you want to look at positioning. How are you positioned compared to the competition? So if you were to compare, say you want to be a luxury brand, and I can't think of any at the top of my head, but let's just say, because Nike kind of reaches everyone, but let's just say at one point they may have been considered a luxury brand. If you want to reach a consumer who wants to spend $200 on Nikes, how do you compare? Where are you positioned? Are you positioned at the $200 level and you are high quality and you do, in the consumer's mind, are perceived to be worth $200? Or is your shoe maybe a midpoint and it's $75 to $100? So you really want to see, how do you want the consumers to view your product, and how do you think they will view it based on your competition? So in this case, look at some real competitors that you think are selling a shoe similar to yours, and how you can position yourself in a way that the consumers will say, hey, I want that. I want your shoe. And finally, look at target segmentation. So we've been talking about the target market, I believe, since week 1. So you should know by now who you're selling your shoe to, age-wise, gender-wise, further demographics, location-wise, possibly. You pretty much know how much income they have and how much disposable income they have as well, or professional. You know their profession as well. So by this point in the class, you have a great understanding of who your consumer is. So I would like you to explain it in detail, and then explain if you can take that market and divide it up even further so that you can reach them. Because like some people might say, well, I want to reach women who are 21 to 55. Okay, that's a great, there's a great span there. So you might want to be able to divide it up and reach some who are 25 to 35 and then 45 to 55. And then you can reach them specifically. But you're still selling the same shoe, but to 2 different markets, because you've segmented the market. So that's really important in this section, is to really see, can I take this large market who I think is a target market, and can I divide it up a little bit more so that I can market to them? Some of these people may be more social media oriented. Some of the people in my market may just want newspapers and television ads. So you're going to reach both with the same shoe, because they still kind of like that same shoe, maybe with a few adjustments, but one is going to be social media, email, text, the other newspaper, billboards, whatever the case may be. So I would love to see how you divide up your market here. And that's going to be 1 page. So that is basically an overview of the assignment due this week, which is part 1 and 2 of your final project. Parts 3 and 4 will be due next week. So all in all, if you look at the page lengths and everything, you should have approximately 4 pages completed this week. And again, everything should be APA formatted as normal. Everything should be in paragraph format, full sentences, 3 to 5 sentences for a paragraph. It should be a great APA formatted paper. Check for grammar and spelling, of course. And please ensure that no more than 25% of the words in your paper are from outside sources. This paper is really all about you, so it should be 75% or more of just your opinions and your words. So I hope that this video was helpful to assist you with completing the week 5 assignment. I know it's a little bit lengthy, but it's a long assignment, so I wanted to take some time with you guys. As always, you can call me, you can email me your questions or concerns, and you guys have a great weekend. Bye-bye.